Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships. For our Monday video today is going to be featuring the Metz. So this is going to be a live commentary action where we're going to drop into randoms battle and kind of give you my first impressions. So this is the new experimental ships that Wargaming has introduced into the game. This update is kind of weird figuring it out, so to speak, when you're trying to first pick up the ship, and maybe I'll just briefly talk about that if you're new to this. But we're going to go and play with Metz. You can also see I already have VIII, if you want to say that. So I was gifted a lot of doubloons. So I spent the 6,000 doubloons to go ahead and pick the ship up. If you haven't picked Metz up yet and you're kind of wondering how it works, you have to research each of, I think it's 5 on the Metz. Let's see if it shows. You have to research 5 of these before the ship will drop into your port. So do be mindful of that. I was a little confused by that after getting those 10 battles played rather than spending the 50,000 for XP. So I spent the doubloons, the 6,000 doubloons to pick this up. I don't recommend spending doubloons, but I was gifted a lot and I wanted to get my hands on it, and I haven't been playing the game a ton lately, just more like co-op and some operations. But it also gets closer to picking up the organ, which ironically you have to have a ton of action reports for, and you only get 45 a day. And it takes 125 to research just one aspect of the ship, and then spend 3 million credits on top of that. So if you do spend doubloons, you're also avoiding having to get all the action reports, and you're saving yourself credits. Like for me, you can see I don't have a lot of credits right now. So I'll have to work on that before getting up to Oregon. And it took me another 19 days, I think, before I can even pick up this ship, assuming I play every day and get enough XP, right? I need 20,000 XP. It's not base XP before I can get down the line. So anyhow, with that being said, I just wanted to highlight that really quick. If you're newer to experimental ships, so they have the gimmick where it's fight or flight. So you start off with less hit points. You start with 17,860 hit points, and it means you have a negative 15% main battery reload time and a negative 17% on your main battery shell dispersion. So you have really tight horizontal, vertical shell groupings. Now we can't make that tighter with the aiming systems mod, and the third slot doesn't exist. And then you have limited stock shells, and that's for the armor piercing. So you can see we get 80. And you have 8 305mm guns here on the Metz. So we have a soft nose or 25mm. This is the commander I'm running on my, my gosh, I forgot to pronounce this again. Marseille, or sorry, was it Marseille? I'm sorry, I've had a long past week. So anyhow, this is the build that I'm running. Probably the only thing missing would be the survivability. Bring us up to 48,000 total, also with Charlie Kilo. Now the thing with the funny button that these ships get, basically being the burst fire and modified shells, they've had several iterations where they've been like going through these, and they've basically nerfed the main battery firing range, meaning that rather than having the 18.8 you see here, whenever you activate the F key, reduces your main battery firing range to 11, let's see, was it 11.5? You can see there on the screen, but you can see your shell velocity goes up by 90 meters a second. Your dispersion drops negative 75, and then a plus 10 seconds on the reload. But also keep in mind that it'll actually end up being less depending on if you're full health, yeah, but if not, and you have adrenaline rush also ticking in as well, you have a pretty nasty reload time. Last thing I want to make mention of before we drop into battle is the concealment. So keep in mind, when you have the F key active, this only works within 11.5. Now I've been playing around in co-op and ops. I haven't taken the 5th slot on the concealment. So I was just farming a little more of the top grade gunner skill in the 4th slot, which gives us a negative 8% main battery reload time whenever something's detected within our standard detectability range of our ship. But in randoms, we're definitely going to take it. So it drops us down to 11.1. So we can be rather cheeky in that sense. And then in terms of what are we going to run here, let's see our speed. It was like 30 knots. We get a hydroacoustic search. Feels weird. It feels like it's kind of like reminds me of Dunkirk. Yeah, I don't know, sure. It feels more like a battleship, which is kind of the weird thing. You can switch between hydroacoustic and defensive A, but I mean, honestly, like, you want to take hydro. Economic bonuses, we'll just throw on some green ones real quick, and then we'll drop into game. Yeah, I think that's what we need to talk about. But it's basically, this ship is based on the Toulon hull, which I don't actually know if I have or not. A tier 7 French cruiser, and now it's up to tier 8. My initial impression, and I think what I've heard from others, but I would say after playing the ship, I would agree that it does better, probably at same tier or top tier. I don't know how confident I would be in the ship if I'm facing tier 9 and tier 10. So we do get the 8s, 9s, and 10s. And I'm playing like 4 a.m. No, 5 a.m. On Eastern Standard Time on the NA server. So you're also going to see some odd things like matchmaking. So this is just a hot take. If I suck this game. That's the battle that gets put on YouTube. If it's decently good, hey, it's decently good, and it works out well for all of us collectively speaking. So we're here on the Atlantic. So let's see, there's no CVs, there's no hybrids, there's no radar. Pretty cruiser heavy, so we're probably, as you see, we're loading the AP. We got a sub, an Asasio, so we don't have to worry about that. He doesn't hit cruisers. And we can also double check that here. So you can see deal damage to battleships, cruisers. So we'd have actually, the only torpedo threat really is the SEAL. Because Sherman has like terrible torps. And you can still see that people are still confused about the ship in the game. Like, why did you start off with less health? So I don't really want to take time right now for that. I want to strategize. So I think what we're going to do is push up on A. And we might rock this part, but we really have to be mindful. Let's see, North Carolina 4.6s, Veneto SAP. And I don't know. See, the problem is, like, Utrecht is like actually the ship I'm most concerned about besides the sub. Because we can't really sit stationary so often because they'll just crap on us. My approach, because I've been asked about how do I approach the heal, like, do I go ahead and use the first heal? Starting off, no. I wait until after the initial engagement has started, and I see how the situation goes before utilizing the heal. So I'm gonna actually go more in this way, because if there's a battleship, for example, sitting over here, you can see the dispersion is actually not too bad. I just underled because he's got his engine boost going. He's going pretty fast. The airstrike range is like 7 for the depth charge, which isn't great. I think Utrecht has 13.5? 14. So he could definitely be a pain there. I really want to know where the battleships are. We're going to pop our fighter. So you can see that Metz is actually already healing. We can actually bully the Asasio and just run up on him if we really want to. I think he's like moving that way. I could play in the mid here. We might do that. Yeah, sorry guys, give me a second. He's just outside of my range. Oh, I should have waited. That was my bad. I should have waited like 2 seconds and then we would have been in range to smack him with the funny button. So we're going to keep citadeling him and kind of force aggressive things on him. Our team is playing pretty aggressive. I'm actually surprised how aggressive they're playing. You get a lot of things weird on NA when you play this time of like day. night, day, morning. I don't know how you want to phrase it. F key. Of course he would back out. So we get first blood. 2 seconds. The big thing that's kind of blocking us from discharging in is the Veneto. I'm actually going to go ahead and now heal. Kill number 2. So I think really how this ship plays means you have to play wisely. He's still back behind the island, so we're denying him. You know, I don't know. I want to see if I can actually out-reverse this. Rather than panic and go forward. Ah! I pushed I. I don't know why I pushed I over the F key. I should have just had the F key already ready. We're not detected, so I'm going to go ahead and instant DCP that. He's losing interest, which is great. So we're probably going to go ahead and rush now. Okay, you could just come out. That's fine. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated I didn't actually get a Citadel that time. We'll go ahead and heal again. Be great to have the Kansas helping here. Alright, I think we'll F-key him now. I'm trying to keep him within the range of 11.5. And we're going to go ahead and DCP that. I'm just wondering if Veneto's turning back in. Alright, we also have the Metz coming in behind us. Okay, Veneto really left his Utrecht out to hang, so let's use our depth charges, figure out where he's at. Salem, my man, is about to get collapsed. And we're gonna heal again. He's coming in around behind? No, he grounded. So we can still utilize the bit of the island here. I think one of the things that's helping us is it isn't like a full 12v12 perhaps, but I think we can rush now. I think it's fine. So he's moving away. That's one of the things that makes this difficult. So we're barely keeping in range. So this is nice because now, like, if we end up using a heal, you can see how close it brings us up to full. So you're really just trying to, like, you want to utilize the hit points to your advantage. You don't necessarily want to heal up at the start. Now, if there's a lot of overmatch, or you have, like, I think CVs and submarines are, like, probably the biggest threats you have with these experimental ships. Like they are for, like, pretty much most all tech tree ships, right? I'm gonna turn my AA off. I don't want him to, like, start throwing out depth charge plans to figure out how close I'm getting, because I'm probably gonna F-key him. Yeah, but it's kind of, like, really nice to have the hierarchy 6 search, not gonna lie. Will you turn broadside? Smoke fire penalty 10-9. Now he goes broadside. Dang a Sherman. Oh, I should have waited. I might have gotten a 4th kill here. We don't have high explosive loaded, so we're... Oops. It'd be like a pretty long reload time. Okay, he's reversing. So I think the ship, if you're gonna play with like the lower hit points, right, to get the buffs out of the ship, you just have to kind of play very tactical. You have to be very strategic, I think, in your positioning and what you open yourself up to, and picking your fight. We'll use the radar. All right, let's get our F key ready. We got high explosive in the barrel. Ah! So, yeah, not bad. So, with both this ship and the other ship, one of the things that makes these a lot easier to play is your main battery turrets are on the front of the ship, right? Oregon's a different story. So you don't have reasons to show broadside. Both ships, or not this ship, but the other ship, no, this one gives an engine boost. No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm confused now, I have to double check. So it was only 83,000 damage, but hey, we got 3 kills. Not a lot of damage go around this game. Our Salem did really good. Really good. So 2,000, almost 2,100 base XP. You saw the deep water torps. I don't know if those were technically Sejong's, I think. So we were actually, I think we could have like got absolutely wrecked by that. Yeah, almost 1 million potential damage. That's, I think, mostly just avoiding the airstrikes, so. And it's a tech tree ship in terms of how it's considered with the credits payout, so yeah, that is what it is. So let me check equipment because I'm confused. Yeah, we do have an engine boost. So it's a 15% engine boost here, and it's also a 15% engine boost on Borodino, except tier 9 cruiser, right? So it's kind of like fun in terms of using the engine boost to help you with your maneuverability and moving around and whatnot. And of course, I'm using the propulsion mod, so that's helping us out. So that was a good game. I mean, there's always going to be good games, bad games, but I think these, in the hands of a decent to good player, Unicum players, I think you can crap on the enemy team, but you know, it depends on matchmaking and stuff. So if it's like you're a CV or submarine player, you should probably be focusing these ships down. But what's funny about like this ship, you have 305s, right? Borodino or Viazma, whatever, at tier 9, you have 406s with, was the reload time even better, right? Yeah, and you have even better reload time with the 406s, and I think it's even better dispersion? Or not? 244, and it was a 267. Okay, it's, yeah. So, anyhow, so that's experimental ships. So, they are a bit of, I think the big thing of why Wargaming has introduced these, I mean, it's, one hand is like, they're running out of ideas and they don't know what to do in terms of just normal tech tree lines. That's why we're getting really funky, like gimmick boats and boats with more airstrikes now and stuff. So they're running out of ideas. And the other thing I think is that they're just trying to be, it's a resource sink, right? If you're a new player, you know, these ships will be taken out was update 14.7. I don't really recommend, if you're new, going for this, right? Because you're investing resources into a ship that ultimately you don't get to keep. Unless Wargaming changes their mind before, I think it's update 14.7. But, I mean, you're having to throw a lot of credits into this. Or if you're not using credits, you're using doubloons. If you skipped to get immediate access into researching the things for Metz, you know, you for playing 10 battles at tier 9 or higher, maybe you just threw 50,000 free XP. So I think it's just kind of it's a resource drain ultimately, but also them just like now starting something up that's like, oh, we're going to go into an alternative tech tree design. So So anyhow, I think that's just going to bring the video to a close. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you have subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. And until next time, take care.